So yesterday we have talked about different types of roles and responsibilities. That's all. Now we are going for types of documents. What are different types of documents we'll prepare when we are working in Oracle Labs project? Documentation is key role in any Oracle Labs project. For that, separate methodology has prepared by Oracle. That methodology we call it as AIM methodology. Application Implementation Methodology. We'll follow AIM methodology document templates. AIM methodology document templates. Recently, Oracle has released one more also, OUM. Oracle Unified Methodology. Oracle Unified Methodology. Oracle Unified Methodology. Oracle Unified Methodology. This also released. But we will say that we are flexible with a methodology. This one still clients are not used. People are following the existing methodology only. Because client has to buy these documents from Oracle. Okay. So still a methodology only. Most of the clients are following. Okay. There will be a 40 to 50 templates, but as a team member, as a technical team member, will come across around 7 documents. MD50 is a functional design document. It's prepared by the functional consultant. Yesterday we have talked about the functional consultant definition, right? So the responsibility of functional consultant is going to interact with the client and gather the requirement. And he prepare the MD50 documentation. We'll receive MD50 from the functional consultant, then we go for MD70. What is MD70? Technical design document. MD70 is technical design document. Technical design document. We are going to prepare this. Technical consultant, we are going to prepare. MD70. While writing, we'll write MDO70, but we call it as MD70. While writing, we'll write MDO70, but we call it as MD70. MD120 is a migration document. How to migrate the reports and forms from one instance to another instance. One instance to another instance. This is our job only, technical consultant. We are going to prepare the migration document. This. Then MD20 is a testing document. It's prepared by the functional consultant. We don't prepare testing document. The entire ERP must be tested by the functional consultant. We don't go for testing. It has to be tested by the functional consultant. CV40 is a conversion functional document. CV40 is a conversion functional document. It's prepared by functional consultant. It's prepared by conversion functional document. Functional consultant. CV60 is a technical document. Conversion technical document. It's prepared by the technical consultant. It's prepared by technical consultant. Here we have already one functional document and one technical document. Here we have already one functional and one technical. Then what is the difference and why we required this? MD documents are used for the reports and forms. MD documents are used for reports and forms. CV documents are used for interfaces and conversions. CV documents are used for interfaces and conversions. CV nothing but a conversions. Yesterday we have talked about rice components, right? Same. CR documents are used only in the supporting projects. CR stands for change request. CR stands for change request. Change request document, it's prepared for client. Sometimes client will prepare it. Sometimes functional consultant will prepare. Sometimes technical consultant will prepare. Yes, it's a simple document. Adding the parameter and provide the additional field. This all will be added. So these are types of documents. It's very important. In the interviews, they'll ask you what documents you are following, what documents you have prepared. In that document, what you have entered exactly. This definitely they will expect from us. So that all will see in applications. In our training, we'll prepare that documents. Next. There are some more high-level documents. MD stands for module design. BRD, business requirement documents. CV stands for conversion documents. RD, requirement design. This all will find here also. Okay. But this you can just remember what is the definition for MD. MD stands for module design or module development. CV stands for conversions. BRDs, who will prepare the BRDs? Senior level functional consultant, business requirement documents. RDs, requirement design, who will prepare this? This will be done by the requirement design person. Functional personnel. Okay, fine. Yes. Development to testing, testing to production. We never migrate testing to development. Development to testing, testing to production. Right. How to migrate the objects from one instance to another. That is a simple document. What are the files, supported files, and that list we have to maintain it. Next, types of projects. What are different types of projects? What are different types of projects? When we are working in the Oracle applications, we'll find implementation projects, customization projects, migration, support or maintenance project. Implementation means very first time we are implementing the application to the client. Earlier client might be using some other product, some other applications. Okay, so that is an implementation where the work will be started right from the scratch. We'll be starting the work right from the scratch. Customization project. Customization means already client is using Oracle applications product, but couple of modules he want to customize and integrate. For example, financial modules client has installed and using the financials. Now you want to go for add the SCM, supply chain management. That comes as a customization. Migration or conversion or upgrade. If client is using the old version of Oracle applications, now you want to migrate from old version to latest version, then we will find the migration project. So here, when we talk about the versions, what are different types of versions we have in Oracle applications? What is the current latest version we have? In 1996, we got 10.7. We got 10.7. Then we got 1999, 11.5.0. Then 2002, we got 11.5.3. From there, every year we got versions 11.5.4, 11.5.9, like this, up to 11.10.2. This is the latest version that we have seen in 2010 regarding 11i. Next in 2011 we got R12. R12 version we got. Initially we got 12.0.0, then 12.1.1 and 12.1.2, 12.1.3, now it's 12.2.0. This is all R12. This all are 11i. So from 2011, last 5-6 years, we are working with R12 applications. 12.1.1 versions are this. Now we got 12.2.5 also. Every 6 months or 1 year, one version will be released into the market. Client no need to buy that new version. They can just go for apply the patch. Automatically it will be updated. But if it is 2 years, then client has to buy the latest. Frequently, if versions are changed, then client no need to buy. If there is any long gap, then the client can go for buy the latest version. Our entire training will go on latest version, R12. Our resume preparation, interview preparation, everything will be in R12. You will never mention anywhere, I have experience on 11i, because 99% projects are going on in R12. 1% of clients are going still using the R11, 11i version. But this Oracle has stopped already support for R11, 11i version, they have already stopped. Some vendors, they are providing the support like TCS, Satyam, somebody is giving the support, so client is continuing that. Okay. This is about versions. Adding the new functionality, providing more features, whatever bugs are there in the earlier, by taking the feedback from customers, old version regarding, and then go for update this app. That is migration. If client is migrating from one version to the another version, it's a migration or upgrade. Then support projects and maintenance projects are used when the client is going for a production instance. For example, we have implemented the project 1 year. We've done all customization, setups, everything is done. We took 1 year time. I'll give 1 month access for testing. Client can test the product 1 month. If there are any bugs, then I'm ready to give free of cost. But after 1 month, if client is expecting some support from me, then he has to go ahead with the another team, support team. That's a support project or maintenance. So support or maintenance projects will be started after completion of implementation, customization or migration. Yes, Hemant, Oracle forms we are not using nowadays. It's not outdated. If client is expecting any new requirement forms, they are looking for OAF pages. No client is asking develop D2K forms, Oracle forms. The clients are expecting OAF pages. So we must be ready with OAF pages. D2K forms, no client. But personalizations they are expecting. Means D2K forms personalization. That will be discussing in our training. So these are the types of projects we have. In our resume completely will show that we have implementation experience. Our training also will go in that way only. If you are involved in the implementation, the meaning is you have the complete idea of the product end to end, entire business cycle of the product end to end. If you are involved in the implementation, you can easily work in any project. That's why in our resume will be showing an implementation experience. For example, 3 years you are going to put up experience, 3 projects. Then first 2 projects are an implementation projects. The third one maybe you can put it as a customization or support. Okay. If you are going to show only 2 years of experience, then both the projects we can put it as an implementation projects. Okay. Better to keep at least 2 or 3 implementation projects. Okay, fine. Next, how these modules are integrated. When we talk about PO module, what is the purpose of PO module? Purchase the goods from the suppliers. After we procure the goods, where do we place the goods? In the warehouse, we will place it. Warehouse data maintained in which module? Inventory module. Then goods will be transferred to the plant, work in process and bills of material, BOM and WIP. And then we'll go for send the items for quality, QA. And then once the product is ready, we'll go for sell the product to customer, order management. Sorry. Once we sell the product to customer, we'll receive the amount from the customers, account receivables. And initially, whatever materials we have purchased, we have to make the payment to the suppliers. That is nothing but a account payables. And then whatever the payments we have done and whatever the receivings we have done, both debit and credit cash transactions will find in the cash management module, and accounts will be transferred from AR module to GL module, AP module to GL module. So this is how the business will go in high level. Okay, we'll be talking about P2P cycle. This PO, how to procure the goods from supplier, how to make the payments to the suppliers, how to prepare the accounts to GL. That is one business cycle we'll be talking. Then O2C cycle, how to sell the goods to customers, how to collect the money from the customers, how to transfer these accounts to the GL. In between, cash management also covered. In between, items inventory also covered. So this entire part we are going to discuss. It is a combination of two domains, financial domain, SCM domain. Financial means what are the modules? AP, cash management, general ledger, AR. This all comes under financials. Then OM, inventory, PO. These three will be covered. These three are nothing but a SCM. So these are the functional part we are going to cover. Why do we require functional knowledge? When we go for interview, saying that I am working in Oracle applications last 3 years, they won't ask you how will you develop a report. They'll ask you what reports you have done last 3 years. If you say I have developed reports in order management module, then tell me what is order management module? What business functionality is given by Oracle? What business functionality your client has expected? And how you are going to customize that. This is what expected by the client. This is what expected by your interviewer. So that's we are going to talk. That's why we need the basic functionality of that particular functional concept. Okay. Next, the architecture of Oracle applications. We have desktop tier, means nothing but our local machine, and application tier is nothing but a file server. Database is nothing but a database. This is your front end, your application, and this is your back end, database. So we call it as a three-tier architecture. We call it as three-tier architecture. Desktop, application, database. Desktop, application, database. It is a three-tier architecture. Okay. So from the desktop, how will you connect to the application? By using the web browser. You use Internet Explorer, or you use Mozilla application or Google Chrome. Connect to the application, open the application. What are the things you will find in the application? We'll find the forms. Open the forms and enter the data. We'll find the reports, run the reports. Report will be internally connected to your database tables, retrieve and show the information in the output. Run the discoverer reports. This all will do it in the application tier. What about database tier? Database is nothing but your backend, tables, procedures, functions, packages, triggers. This all will find in the database. How will you connect from your desktop to database directly? We'll use SQL star plus, or we use Toad, or we use PLSQL developer, any tools. How will you connect to the application? By using the browser. I'll show you how to connect to the applications. Go to start menu, or we can go to Mozilla application. This is web browser. Through this, you are going to log in and connect to the applications. You have to give username and password and connect to the applications. This is how to connect to the application. What is there in application? That will come in the next level. I'm just showing you how will you connect. Then whenever you open the form, This form will be connected to the database internally. This form will be connected to the database. Form or report or program, everything will connect to the database internally, retrieve the data, insert the data and display the data. Reporting all will be done. Reports all will be done. Here it is. Then how will you connect to the database? Generally, database means we will use the SQL plus. We can use SQL star plus, give the access and connect. Otherwise, you can go to the Toad. Toad also is one of the tool, graphical tool, where you can perform your actions very easily. Whatever we do in SQL plus, we'll do in the Toad. But SQL plus is a command based. This is a graphical. So it will be more flexible for us. Okay, fine. So this is how we can connect to the application and database. First, we'll talk about application hierarchy, how Oracle has designed this application hierarchy, and then we'll talk about the database hierarchy, how the database is hierarchy designed. Okay, so there is nothing to talk about desktop. Desktop is nothing but your local machine. Desktop is nothing but your local machine which you are using it. Okay, so when we talk about file architecture, whenever we connect to file, first we'll find the Apple tab. First we'll find the application tab. It will be like this. Where the server is installed, here. Go to D drive, Oracle, Vision instance, apps, apps underscore standard, Apple. This path is different from one project to another project. In the real time, when you are working, the path will be different from one client to another client, because it depends on their requirement. They will configure the path. Then within the Apple tab, we'll find the folders. Every module one folder. Every module one folder. Okay, every module there will be a one folder. If client has installed 5 modules, then we will find 5 folders. If client has installed 20 modules, then we will find 20 folders. Every module there will be one folder. If I go to AP module is nothing but account payables. If I go to AP module, then we'll find 12.0.0. That is version number. That is version number. Inside of this, there will be a multiple folders. SQL folder contains SQL programs. XML folder contains XML files. Reports folder contains reports. Out folder contains output files. Message folder contains message files. Log folder contains log files. Libraries we don't require. HTML we don't require. Help also we don't use. Forms folder contains the forms. Bin folder contains all our C language, SQL loader, shell script. This all will find in the bin folder. Admin folder contains administration scripts. Okay. So forms and reports will find inside of forms folder. We'll find one more folder called US. It contains your forms. When we go to the reports, there will be a US folder, and we'll find all the reports. Same architecture, you take any module. Right now I have explained AP module, right? You go to AR module, same architecture, 12.0.0. Within that, SQL, reports, forms, bin folder. Remaining folder generally we don't see that. As Oracle developer, what we'll do, we'll develop SQL programs. We'll develop reports. We'll develop the forms, DTK forms or OAF forms. That's what we do. PLSQL programs will write. But where do PLSQL programs will be saved? If I am going to create one procedure, procedure will not be saved in the file. Where the procedure will be saved? It will be saved in the database. Procedure is a database object. Okay, it will not be saved in the file. That's why you don't have PLSQL folder. In bin folder, C language programs, Java language programs, shell script programs, and SQL loader control files, this will put it in the bin folder. So our job will be mainly 4 folders here: SQL, reports, forms, bin folder. But if I go to reports, one more folder is there, US. What is mean by US? It is a language specific folder. It is language specific folder. It contains the multi-language. In the reports, for example, you are developing report in English and in Arabic language, then 2 folders will find. Under the reports, US folder, and one more folder here, Arabic. This is for English. US means American English. This is for Arabic folder. By default, language is English. That's why US folder is there. Same concept for the forms also. Like this. Yeah. Okay. And remaining folders doesn't have. If I go to SQL folder, I don't have US option here. Because SQL program is common for any language. That is only English. You cannot implement some other languages in SQL script. So here US folder is not there. US folder is there only for reports and forms, because both are graphical user interface objects, GUI objects. Form is a GUI, graphical user interface. Report also is a GUI, graphical user interface. So in both the places, you can implement multi-language. That's why you have the multi-language option. Okay. Otherwise, this US folder is not required. We have the multi-language support. That's why we are going to have it here. Fine. So we can go for this. Like this, we'll find all. Client will go for create their own folder. Nothing but their own top. Let's say you are working for MRF company. So they'll create their own top. And inside of this, they'll create the version 12.0.0. Inside of this, reports, forms, SQL, bin folder. We can have other also. We'll be working with this mainly. Under the reports, what you will find? One more folder, that is US. Under forms also, we'll find US folder. This. Like this, client is going to create their own top called MRF top. What is difference between this one and this? This is provided by Oracle. This is created by our DBA. Our client has created. So this we call it as a product top. Manufacturing. MFG stands for manufacturing. This is a product top. It is a product given by Oracle company. This is our top, custom top. Top means directory. There is nothing else. In Linux, we call it as a top. Top means directory. This is created by our client for our developments and customizations. For our developments and our customizations. This is given by Oracle. This is given by Oracle. Okay. So Oracle has provided this. So why we are creating our own top? What is the purpose? If you develop a report, why don't you keep it here? Why don't you keep your SQL program here and execute? We can do it. No problem. But after some time, after 6 months or 1 year or 3 years, if Oracle is going to apply the patch, if Oracle is going to give the patches, that is going to override all your work. That is going to override all your work. So we must use the custom top for our customer developments and customizations, so that our work will be safe. Our work will be safe. So whatever the developments and customizations we are doing, we must keep it in our custom top. So this name will be different from one client to another client. So once we join in the project, we have to ask our team leader, our DBA, what is the name of the custom top and what is the username and password for the custom top. because you are uploading the files. I am also uploading the files. We must know who has uploaded the file and who has downloaded, when they have uploaded, when they have downloaded. This track history is required. That's why that there will be a security for the folder. You must give your username and password, then it will be allow you to go for upload the files and download the files. For example, client is going to ask you customize one inventory report. Already in the inventory top, we have the reports. Already in the inventory, we have the reports. This you want to customize. The client want to customize this report. So we have to download that report. Once we download, customize the report. Okay. So this will be backup here only. Only one copy we have downloaded. Okay. This backup will be as it is here. Once we download, we'll customize that report. Where we have to place that report? MRF top. Here we have to place our report and execute. Here we have to place our report and execute. So all our developments and customizations, whatever we are doing, we must keep it in the custom top. That is our base concept. Yes. Yes. So all the reports will put it here only. Inventory reports, HRMS reports, customer reports, supplier, employee reports will keep it here only. Here we don't differentiate. Okay. Path is similar here. But in the front end you will differentiate. You can differentiate. So all HRMS reports, your customer reports, all the things will be under the same top. We don't create. If you want to create separate, you can create, not a problem. But you can place it in the same place. But front end, when you try to access that, you can differentiate. So this report should come from HR. This report should come from finance. Like that, you can separate. So this is about file server. This is about file server, how it looks like. Okay. So here Excel sheet, I'll show you the same thing. Where we have saved. I've prepared one simple Excel sheet which you can easily understand more. Where is that? Not here, somewhere. Yes, here somewhere. File architecture. So this have just now we have seen practically. It's fine. First what we'll find Apple top. Within that each module one top. Inside of that which version 12.0.0. In every top there will be a folders like this. Under the forms and reports what we will find US folder, and here forms and reports SQL, C language, Java means OAF, message file like. These all are product tops which are given by Oracle. Then here we are going to create our own top called custom top. Who will create this? DBA. Just now we created, right? Same way DBA will configure that. And so within the custom top we'll develop our forms, our reports, and our SQL programs, our OAF pages, our control files. This all we are going to develop it. Okay. So what is meant by US folder? Language specific folder. By default there will be a US folder. Then if there are multi-language, then we'll find multiple folders. If two languages are there, then we'll find two folders. We'll find two folders here. Okay. So whatever we have seen just now practically, that is here graphically I've written it here. Fine. Next. Now we'll talk about this database. Just now we completed this. Now we'll talk about the database. So what is database architecture? The database means your backend. It will be either Oracle 8i or 9i or 10g or 11g or 12c. But latest 11g every client is using. Every client is using the 11g database. Okay. So here 11g. Before we talk about the database, two basic definitions we have to discuss. Two basic definitions we have to discuss. So what are the two basic definitions? Schema and synonym. What is meant by schema and what is meant by synonym? That we have to talk. What is meant by schema? Schema is an area in our database to store the database objects. Area in the database to store the database objects. Database objects means tables, procedure, function. In one database, you will have either one schema or multiple schemas. In one database, we can have either one schema or multiple schemas. We can have either one schema or multiple schemas. Then what is synonym? Synonym is nothing but alternative name for the database object. Alternative name for the database object. Just like alias. Just like alias. This will discuss tomorrow, the database architecture. So these are two definitions are required before we start the database. One is schema, another one is synonym. So what is meant by schema? Schema is nothing but an area in the database. We'll have either one schema or multiple schemas. And synonym is nothing but alternative name for the database object. It is just like a alias name. Then what is difference between alias name and schema? Sorry, synonym. Alias name is valid within the schema. You can't use alias name out of the schema. But synonym name you can use across the schemas. For example, we have database like this. We have a database like this, and we have two schemas here, schema A and schema B. Schema A and schema B. From the A schema, let's say here we have one table called employee table. If I want to access this table, first I have to connect to this schema and access it, either insert, update, delete, select. Then how can I access this table from the B schema? We cannot access right now. If at all we want access, we need the grants from A schema to B schema. We require the grants. Then you can go for have one synonym here. You can go for having the synonym here. You can go for having the synonym here and access. So whenever you select this synonym from the B schema, indirectly it refers to this A.emp. Indirectly it refers to A.emp. So alias name is valid within the schema. Alias name you cannot refer from other schemas. But synonym, it works across the synonyms across the schemas, sorry. Across the schemas it will work. Okay, that is advantage of the synonym. Okay. Sorry, come again. Any schema. Any schema. So let's say here no two schemas are there, A and B. Your table is here. You want to access this table from B schema. First you need to get the grants. Once the grants are given, then create a synonym for this table. While creating this synonym, you will mention that this synonym you are creating for this table from the A schema, A.emp. Then whenever you go for insert, it depends on your grant. Sometimes you want to only select grants, read only. Insert, update, delete also. That can be done. All the grants are there. You can insert a record through this synonym into the table. Update the record, delete the record as well as select. Depends on the grants which you have, you can perform it. Okay. Fine. So this is about the schema and synonym. So in the database, we'll have either one schema or multiple schemas. And whenever you want to access your object across the schemas, then we go for synonym. So synonyms are created not only for tables. You can create a synonym for your procedure, your package, your function. You can create for your package trigger. You can create synonym for any database object. For any database object, you can create a synonym in the future. Fine. Okay. Fine. We'll see tomorrow about this database architecture, and tomorrow we'll start the practicals of Oracle applications. First we'll be creating our username and password, then we'll start with remaining things. Okay. Thanks.